Hello guys, this is Jalen here today from Blue Angels Gaming, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys a top 4 attack strategy guide for Clash of Clans for the Town Hall 12 position. This content is given to me by the CPU community, which stands for COC Philippines United. They have granted me access to pull their content and advertise it for them, and they have all kinds of great content, especially at the Town Hall 12 position. All of these attacks are going to be Town Hall 12, and hopefully you guys enjoy. The 4 attacks that I will be showing, I'll actually be showing you more than 4 attacks, but the 4 attack strategies that I'll be showing you are a Hilled Pekka Bo Witch, a Blimp Lava Loon, Mass Electro Dragons, and a Shock Rider attack. So I'll go through, show you the 4 different attack strategies, and then after that I'll show you a couple more replays of each one. So we'll go ahead and jump in, watch his first attack on their number 2. This will be a Hilled Pekka Bo Witch. So as you can see, he is taking in a Pekka with this Bo Witch. Going to start off with a Queen Walk to begin the funnel, and he does have that Wrecker in his composition. So he goes ahead and down here at 6 o'clock places a couple troops just to create a funnel, or a side of the funnel down here at 6 o'clock. Places his Archer Queen. It's going to go around to the counterclockwise position. Take out a few of these defenses, and those healers are doing a nice job, even though those 2 cannons are hitting it. He places that Rage because he knows that it's going to be in range of that Expo. Goes ahead and places the Warden to go ahead and get her, or his, damage as well. Places that Wrecker down to get inside of the base, knock through those walls, get into those secondary compartments, and goes ahead and places the other side of his funnel over there with a few witches and bowlers. So the Eagle Artillery does target that other side of the funnel, but it shouldn't matter because he should get in here with his main composition here pretty quickly. He gets that Pekka to go inside. He has that Rage down, and it's looking pretty nice so far. These healers are keeping the Queen alive, and hopefully they will stay on the Queen and keep her alive through the attack. That's what we like to see on these 3-star attacks. This is one thing that you really see in comparison with a high percentage 2-star to a 3-star attack, is to preserve that Queen and keep her around until the end of the attack. So I'll go ahead and zoom out, let you guys see what's going on here. He places that jump down to get those troops into that compartment with that single Inferno. He actually gets it taken down before he has to use his King's ability. He goes ahead and uses the King's ability, and it's looking like a pretty good attack so far. So we do have that Giga Tesla, a couple more Teslas, that cannon, and an Archer Tower left, but with this amount of bowlers and all of his heroes actually at this point, it should be a pretty easy 3-star. So the King and all the bowlers go down around the bottom of the base along with the Warden, but we do have that ability left on the Queen, which will come in very handy, especially on this group of defenses here, whenever he chooses to use it, which is, I'm guessing now. He will be able to take out those defenses, finish off the rest of this base, and knock out that huge Giga Tesla. So this is a really cool attack. I haven't seen a whole lot of Pekkas being used lately, so I definitely wanted to include this. And after watching this war, they actually used like 3 or 4 different Pekka Bo Witches, and I think, yeah, 4. So it definitely shows the viability of them, and they can definitely be considered one of the better strategies at the Town Hall 12 position. So that was the first attack that I wanted to show you guys. And now I'm going to show you a Blimp Lava Loon, which will actually be the number 9. Scroll down here. So a lot of times, even with the Lava Loon and air attacks, we see the Wall Wreckers being used with a kill squad. So I think that that's kind of cool that we finally saw the Blimp being used, and actually in this war we saw quite a bit of Blimps being used. So he sends that straight in there toward that Wiz Tower, and it's going to get to that Archer Tower, or that air defense, and he places that Rage down, and those Loons get into that Rage and knock out several of those components along with that air defense, and this is going to be very nice for the rest of his attack to prevent that air defense from knocking out the rest of his air troops. So he does go ahead, place a little bit of a kill squad with these heroes, and he's hopefully going to knock out that Giga Tesla to where it can't do any damage to the rest of his attack. And he also drew out some of the Clan Castle troops, and he should be able to knock that out with the Queen as well if it hurries up and gets over there. So he is going to use his ability for his Queen. It's going to knock out that baby dragon, go over and knock out a couple more archer towers, and he's going to place the remaining troops of his attack. So he's going to go from the 9 to 12 o'clock side. He's going to place his hounds and his loons. The Eagle Artillery is activated. The loons are getting inside, especially with those haste spells. It's looking pretty nice at this point, and really there hasn't been a whole lot of damage to those loons, especially with that Warden ability just being used, that Hill spell being down. It's looking like a lot of them are going to get into this main compartment of the base with that Eagle. So this is actually a little bit unusual from what we usually see. The Eagle is actually one of the last defenses that is taken out. Usually you try to target that as soon as possible, but he does get it to work. He takes that Hill spell and the Warden ability to help those troops last, and it works out pretty nicely for him. So I'm going to go ahead and speed this attack up. So that was a really cool attack. You don't see, well, you didn't see a whole lot of air attacks at the Town Hall 12 slot, but now that Town Hall 12 is around, you do see quite a bit of that. So it's a really cool attack. I love the new looks of those balloons. Besides Electro Dragons, they're probably my favorite looking troop, so it's always fun to watch those taking out really good bases, and that was a pretty high base there. So the next on the agenda is a mass Electro Dragon attack. If you are subscribed to my channel, which you should be, if not, go hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications. But if you are subscribed, I'm sure you've seen plenty of Electro Dragon attacks. It's my favorite attack strategy, especially at Town Hall 12, but even at Town Hall 11. So this isn't a new strategy by any means. None of these are, but they are what I see as the most viable attack strategies at Town Hall 12. So he's going to go ahead, place a baby dragon here at 12 o'clock to create that side of the funnel, and does a pretty nice job before it gets taken out by that single Inferno. Places a kill squad with that wall wrecker over here at 9 o'clock. This attack will actually have a brand new video coming out pretty soon by me and my buddy. I'm going to keep it a surprise of who that is for now, but we are actually going to be naming this attack, since there is really isn't a name to this attack yet. So definitely stay tuned for that. I'm really excited for that video, and it should be out within the next week. So he gets most of his Electro Dragons to go into the core, and places those rage spells down to really send those bolts of lightning down through the base. They really do a good job of having those chain effects to travel all the way down, and it almost got to that air defense down there, but it took out every defense up until that, and this next chain should reach the air defense. It actually goes the opposite way. Now they're going to take out the air defense, and this base is pretty much toasted at this point. So we have several Electro Dragons left, and only 3 defenses and 1 air defense left, or not air defense, but air-seeking defense. So this will be another 3-star, and if you guys haven't already, go ahead and like the video if you guys do enjoy this type of content. I'm really excited to be bringing you guys these type of wars, especially now that I am a part of the CPU family. They have all kinds of good clans. I think they have like over 100 clans in their alliance, so this is an all Town Hall 12 clan, I believe. So I'm really excited to be a part of clans like this that can give you this much good content in one war. So, yeah. So we're going to go ahead and speed this up. Finish through this attack. And then the last attack is actually a really cool attack strategy founded by one of my buddies, Spooby HD. It's called the Shock Rider. And what it does is it uses a couple Electro Dragons to funnel, and then it finishes with a mass placement of hogs. This will be on the number 13. And I know that I'm not getting too far in depth as far as strategy or a guide goes. This is kind of just showing you the attacks, but I have every one of these attack strategies on my channel. So just go there and look through my videos, and you'll be able to see how to do these attacks, what bases to look for whenever you're using these strategies, and how to execute them to get that 3-star attack. So here we go. He's going to go ahead and place this baby dragon up at 12 o'clock to create the funnel on that side. And actually, I'm sorry. This is the same attack that we just watched. I need to go up to 15. I read that wrong. So 15 is the Shock Rider. I was like, this looks awfully familiar. So here we go. This looks more correct. So he's going to have 2 Electro Drags. This is going to create the funnel like I was saying. So he's going to place those. He's going to knock out several of these outside buildings. And then after these die out, he will place the rest of his troops, which is basically a mass hog attack. But he does use those Electro Drags at the beginning to create that funnel for that Wrecker and those heroes to go inside, and to knock out a couple extra defenses as well with that chain pattern. So he's going to freeze a single Inferno, which enables that Wall Wrecker to get through. He knocks out that single Inferno, so it's not going to target any of his troops or that Wrecker. He uses the ability on that Eagle Artillery hit. The Electro Dragon is actually still alive, which is very vital in these attacks, is to keep 1 or 2 of them alive for a little while, because the Eagle Artillery should target that instead of the other troops. So at this point, the Eagle Artillery is down. He places the rest of his hogs, and it's looking like a really, really nice attack so far. He has several troops in the core of this base. All of his hogs are deployed and looking pretty good. He has a couple heal spells left. He uses one of them right here, right before this town hall. There is a giant bomb which he froze, and all these hogs basically have one more compartment, a couple of compartments, but basically one compartment to get to, and he does place that hill on the entryway to that compartment, so should be a pretty easy 3-star. He does hit another giant bomb, so this just goes to show you don't really have to get lucky. He didn't avoid all the giant bombs. He just placed the hills in the right spots at the right time. He saves his queen all the way till the end nearly, takes out this Expo, and all he has to do now is knock out these last 2 defenses, or last 3 defenses, and it'll be a pretty, not easy, but pretty good 3-star. So I'll go ahead and speed this up. Queen takes out that last archer tower. All we got left is the cannon and some cleanup, so the heroes are working their way around. And this is going to be another 3-star for the Penis Unified. So now I'll show you guys just a couple more different attacks using these. I'm not going to show you every attack in this war because there's all kinds of good Town Hall 12 hits. But I am going to go ahead up and show you guys the number 5 attack. And this was another Hild Pekka Bo Witch. I wanted to show this just because you don't see these a whole lot, so I thought you guys might like it, especially with these max troops and almost maxed hero, well, almost maxed queen. So he does place that queen there at 9 o'clock. He's going to do it basically the same way. I think this is the same guy that used this attack strategy before. He's going to go in, take out that air defense, and he does bring a few loons, so we'll see what he uses those for. He places that warden down to go ahead and get him to be doing a little bit of additional power there with that queen walk, and I'm guessing he's going to start placing those baby dragons soon, unless he keeps those for cleanup, but I'm guessing he's going to use those for a little bit of a funnel. So actually he doesn't. He places the Wall Wrecker down a little bit to the left of 12. He places down some witches, some bowlers, and his Pekka, and he's going to place these bowlers down on the right side of 12 to get that Wall Wrecker to go inside and to attract those troops to go inside instead of lapping around. So the troops are going to go inside, which is really nice. They're going to get into, and this base does have quite a few compartments, but several of them are pretty big, especially these ones in the middle, and all you really need is one jump spell and you're going to get to all of these defenses that you need to. That eagle is on the inside of that compartment, so he should be able to knock that out just by getting into that little hallway there that he's in right now. Knocks out the eagle, and all he really has left is this multi-inferno, which shouldn't be too much of a problem. So he actually runs a little bit low on this attack. You can tell that he doesn't have a whole lot of defenses left, but what he does have is he has that almost max queen, which is just absolutely annihilating this base. He's going to knock out this cannon here with all of those healers on that queen and on that Pekka. and that queen's going to go outside and get behind those meat shields. And I'll go ahead and speed this up just because we get the point that it is going to be a 3-star, and those meat shields are really going to soak up the damage for these heroes. So the queen is still alive and actually still has her ability, so that's really nice. The queen does as well. He places those loons down, and he actually gets through this whole attack without even really needing either one of his abilities on his king or queen. He does go ahead and use his king's ability and the queen's, but he probably could have got by without using either one. So that just goes to show you how much of a meat shield that Pekka is, and it really, it's very vital if you can get it to stay around till the end of the attack. So we got 2 more attacks for you guys. I'll show you one more Blimp Wallow, and then I'll show you one more Shock Rider, and then that will be all for today. But these next 2 attacks are really cool, so stick around, watch the rest of these. If you guys have anything you would like to see on the channel, definitely let me know in the comments. I'm always looking for new content to bring to you guys. And join my Discord server and follow me on Twitter as well if you haven't already. So the heroes are going in here between 12 and 3, right around 130, straight toward that Giga Tesla. We see that max level 5 Town Hall there. So this is neat, even though it doesn't have max walls, which really doesn't matter since we have an air attack going on. So even though we can tell right off the bat from the walls this isn't a max base, it's not even a max Town Hall 11 base, it actually is pretty much a, it's a very lethal base just because he's going in with air, so the wall level doesn't really matter. He knocks out that Giga Tesla with those heroes, and he goes ahead and places his air troops from 9 to 12. So in a lot of these attacks you see haste at the very beginning, and this is nice because when you do this, it gets the troops inside of the base very quickly. It's going to get them inside to that Eagle Artillery as soon as possible, knock it out, and really all that's left on the other side of this base is those single Infernos and those air defenses. So actually he went in from the opposite side of the base that you would probably guess, just because usually you try to target those air defenses and single Infernos as soon as you can. But he does bring in that blimp from the opposite direction around the backside, followed with, or they are deployed with loons, which he doesn't rage, but takes out that single Inferno as soon as they come out of the wall wrecker. So this worked out really nicely for him. All he really has left is an archer tower after this one goes down, and then an air defense, which should be pretty easy with this amount of loons left. So I'll go ahead and speed it up. He uses that haste spell and another haste spell to get in there to that air defense, and this is why he actually went in from that side of the base, is just because he saved those loons and those haste spells to come in from the back, knock them out, and really never even affected the other troops that went in from the opposite direction. So this is a really good strategy, and it's kind of one of those things where when you're scouting a base, you can't just use the same attack for every single base, but for a base like that, you can come up with a little bit of a game plan and switch it up a little bit. So here is the last attack for today. This is another Shock Rider attack on their number 16. This is Jameson going in. He's going to place an Electro Dragon right at 9 o'clock. Another one a little above 6 o'clock on the left hand side. Create this funnel, and we can see this chain effect going on here all the way across these gold storages. Gold storages have all kinds of hit points, and you can see the damage that Electro Dragon done to them. Now it is targeting those elixir storages, and it's creating a very nice funnel. Knocks out already 12% of the base just with these Electro Dragons, and I'm guessing he's going to get another. So actually knocked out 16% of the base. This lightning spell is going to go down, do a tad bit of damage to that Tesla. It's one thing I don't care about. It's really the only thing that I don't like besides the Electro Dragons being slow. That dying effect that they have whenever the lightning spell is dropped, it's not really all that lethal. I have really never seen it do all that much damage, but I do have a really cool video to show you guys next week. I should be able to create that video within the next week. It is actually an attack that comes down to a single Electro Dragon versus a single Inferno Tower, and the result of it is actually really cool. It's the single Inferno kills the Electro Dragon, but the Inferno Tower doesn't have a whole lot of health left. that lightning spell comes down and actually gives him the 3-star. No troops are left, but that dying effect that the Electro Dragon has is able to give him the 3-star. So that's actually probably the coolest attack I've ever seen on this game, and I can't wait for you guys to see that. So the hogs are in here now. They're in a hill spell. He freezes that town hall and that whiz tower, places the hill spell down on those as well to protect them from that bomb tower and that Giga Tesla, and the hog riders are going to work at this point. All he really has to do is take out these last few cannons and we're at cleanup. So all of these attacks are very, very lethal, especially at Town Hall 12. If you guys have any questions, be sure to let me know in the comments. I've used all of these attacks a time or two, and I know plenty of people who have, so I can get any of your questions answered. So just let me know. Drop a like on the video if you haven't already, and I will go ahead and speed this up. You guys can see the 3-star. I'll jump out, do a little bit of a shout out just to this clan for letting me come in here and show you guys their content. This is from the CPU community, like I said, and here are the results. So they actually won by 10 stars, a little under 10%, like 9.8% they won by. So this is a pretty big margin. They're a really good clan, and they're a part of the CPU family. So until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Thanks for tuning in, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this video.